Okay, no, it's working.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I've been asked to say a few words about orthodoxy, how it's related to the modern contemporary young people, the so-called me generation, people who live for themselves, their consumer mentality in the youth. Unfortunately, I am in no position to speak because I am an old man and ready to die, and so my thing is finished. However, as a voice from the grave, I could sort of make a survey. And I'd like to mention that fact that the biggest problem of today's society is that we are shaped by contemporary understanding of reality without the background of traditional Byzantine Orthodox worldview. And this particular is a real problem, because what we pick from the television and the radio is actually a perverted picture of wrong aspect of hierarchy of Orthodox values. This hierarchy has God on top. It's like a pyramid. God and his followers, the kings and noblemen and so on, and finally the people on the bottom. And when the French Revolution came, they turned it upside down and had God in the bottom. And top is the so-called democracy, actually people who have no particular one ideal to live by, just mob. And this is what is shaping our society today. The young generation is exposed to all kinds of isms, all kinds of ideas, and they can't make sense out of them, where God fits, especially when they start interested in orthodoxy. They sort of encounter orthodoxy. They begin to wonder, what is it? How do you handle it? How do you accept it? And the answer is turning to the back historically. I would suggest 19th century, especially the traditional 19th century Russia, Mount Athos and so on. This is very interesting to see how in Russia the modern ideas were forced upon society that was Orthodox to the core. And they tried to put the revolutionary ideas, where the result was chaos in this Russian revolution and the whole 20th century total disaster, which actually, according to some prophets, is coming here to America, because so far America was based on Christian principles. But with each year, it's coming less and less. It's becoming a society that is losing essence. Somebody mentioned that let's talk about orthodoxy from the heart rather than from external. Excellent. That means we have to focus on the apostles, the Holy Fathers, the Apostolic Fathers and Fathers. Those are authorities, are very important. Once we saturate our soul with these images that these Holy Fathers of old have given to us, then we have a very wide picture of holiness brought upon earth. That is, people living in the society, sort of like a worldly society, and nevertheless, 1 foot in heaven. They are aware of the other world. That's why the Holy Fathers, like say Anthony the Great, Pachomius the Great, and Athanasius the Great, all these Holy Fathers, they open up mystic ways of seeing daily life. I don't know, maybe I'm speaking too much. Maybe it's not particularly relevant. But I'm convinced that, judging from my experience with Father Sermon, is that the young generation wants to give them a little bit of orthodoxy. They get inspired and they multiply. They their brain begins to work, and finally they shoot out roots, and they become themselves pastoral, or you could say pastors themselves, and Orthodox teachers. And nowadays we have a whole new generation coming, young people who are actually already teachers of orthodoxy. Glory be to God.